Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan battle video, and today I want to do a team building guide for this new Saiyan Day LR physical god Goku. So what I like to do is when new Dokkanfest come out, I do like to do team building guides. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to look at his best linking partners, and when I do best linking partners, I don't do just literally who's the best partner to link. I do best linking partners that are runnable. So a lot of times these guys have really crappy banner units or free to play units that they link well with. I'm not going to mention them just because they're not characters you'd realistically use, right? So everything I'm going to do in this video in terms of the team builds and the characters I suggest, I'm going to try to suggest at least red zone viable units. If not, maybe just a tad below red zone, but could still maybe be runnable, right? So when we're looking at this guy, we're going to look at a team build for him as the leader, and then we're going to look at a couple of team builds with him not as the leader where I feel like he could operate pretty well, right? So his leader skill is pure and hybrid Saiyan, so that's what we're going to start with for his team. What I'm going to start with here first, I'm going to say let's look at who his best linking partners are, and he doesn't have a crazy wide amount of super good top tier linking partners right now, right? I would say his best linking partners that are the best ones would be the Year 7 gods, and then AGL Gogeta. I think AGL Gogeta is probably my favorite linking partner for him, because he, I would say, is probably the best unit out of all of his 5 linking partners, right? So I really like him. Now, some other characters I want to throw out there. I'm going to throw out this guy, STR Kaioken Goku. Now, on Global, this guy's poo-poo garbage, but he is getting an EZA, and we've already seen his EZA in JP, and he's actually really, really good. Now, the thing you have to consider if you're going to run these two as a rotation, you're going to want to incorporate other reps of U7 onto the team. Thankfully, we are getting, I believe, 2 reps of U7 EZAs during this event. We should be getting the STR Blue Goku, which is a a sub EZA of UI Goku, and then we're also getting another God Goku, the AGL God Goku, who is a reps of U7, who is also a sub EZA of UI Goku. So right there, I mean, with those, if they're good enough that you could run them on the team, then you potentially would have enough to get this guy's Spirit Bomb off. So just keep that in mind with team building, is you probably want to be able to get a Spirit Bomb off. I think this guy's a good linking partner because in a long event. So one thing I'll say is transforming Goku, he is starting to age a bit, but he is built for long events, and I think in long events he can still do decent. He stacks defense and does have some damage reduction, and this guy in his later phases when he starts going Blue Goku, God Goku, he actually shares the most. I think he shares 6 links with the new God Goku. So this guy, this is one of those what I would call a fringe unit. I don't jump out and be oh my god, this guy is red zone amazing, but he could work in some longer red zones or something like that, right? Hold on one second, I've got a little glitch on my screen here. Why is my Elgato freaking out at me? All right, there, I think it's back. Hold on, why is it being really weird? Let me just unplug it, replug it in. I would like to not have to restart the video, and I don't want to have to edit it. So let me just see what is going on here with my Elgato right now. We'll let it okay, that should be better. All right, I just bumped something and it went crazy. So shout out to Truth for the Elgato issues, right? I don't nearly have the issues that he does. So anyways, transforming Goku, I'm going to shout him out. He's definitely not a top tier option, but he links really well. He has an EZA. I think in a long event, you could get some decent numbers out of this guy. That being said, transforming Vegeta in his later phases also links very well. The thing with transforming Vegeta, the only reason I shout him out is he's probably going to get an EZA this year. Right now, he's not worth running, but I would say just keep your eye out on this guy. I feel like he's due. I feel like this year, at some point in the year 2023, I think there's a very good chance he gets an EZA, right? Then this God Vegeta, I would say this God Vegeta is just solid, right? This is a guy that, if you just want a decent running mate for him that's going to link that is somewhat viable, I'd say you could try this guy. He definitely could be okay. He's a unit that if his guard procs, he's actually really good. I would say this guy's a little underrated. He can hit solid attack stats. He has guard sometimes. If his guard was guaranteed, I think this guy would be looked on a lot more positively. But we'll throw him out as a usable, very good linking partner you could run. Okay. And I think that's it. Now, obviously, there are other units that will link well with him. It's just these are the ones I could think of that would be the best, most meta relevant. Once again, the Kaioken Goku and the physical Vegeta, they need their EZAs first, so don't try to use them right now on Global. But those are some options. I would say on Global, really your go-to, it's going to be the Year 7 and it's going to be Gogeta. Those are really, to me, the best running mates you're going to have for this guy, right? Now, another option is you could run somebody that links less, but is an orb changer, because orb changing is really important for him. So we'll talk about that. So here's a sample team build using God Goku as the leader. So what this team build is really set to do is to focus on having 2 God Gokus on the team. And part of his kit that's really important is he really needs to get 6 orbs. Now, he himself does orb change, but what I found running this guy is even that alone, like, you definitely can still get really shafted on orbs. And I think if this guy doesn't get 6 orbs, he's going to struggle a bit. So you really want the 6 orbs to make sure he's guarding and getting the guaranteed additional. Because the thing with this guy, his attack stats actually don't blow you away. They're like pretty modest, right? Like, you're looking at anywhere from like 5 to 6, maybe 7 mil if he's rainbowed, right? They're decent, but they're not like, 10, 11, 12 mil that some of these more modern units are putting out. But the thing with this guy is, as long as you get the 6 orbs, he gets a guaranteed additional super. So if this guy's double or triple supering at 6 to 7 mil attack stats, then we're looking good, and he's stacking attack and defense, and he's going to build up, and then those attack stats are going to go up, right? So the 6 orbs is really what I want to emphasize here. So what you do on a team build like this is, I would say you run him on rotation with the year 7, and then you do another rotation with the other physical God Goku, and I would say he's going to share, I think he has like 3 links with Gohan, so it's enough that you could link him with Gohan, have him and Gohan both stacking on rotation. That could be an option there for the other rotation. And then this is really focused on like having Kid Goku and this Tech God Goku, they could be there just as like floating orb changers, just to really make sure you've got the orbs that you need, right? And then I think STR Carnival Goku can be a really good floating option just for defense support, which could work really well. So this would be an example of a sample team build. Now, I don't know that I have like a team build that I'm like, this is for sure the 100 best team build. The thing is this guy, when you're talking about pure and hybrid Saiyans, that is a huge expansive roster. So what I like to do is I could sit here and show you 500 team builds, right? So this is just a team build that came to mind that looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple pages of just other units that fit on his teams that you could run as rotation. So I've got one page of like on rotation units, and then another page of like floating characters you could use. So this would be an example of like on rotation characters you could use. They could be their own rotations. You could try to link them with the God Goku depending on what you're doing. But I think Namek Goku is still good enough to run. I think if you wanted to, you could do like the year 4 Super Saiyan 4s as a rotation. They've definitely fallen off a bit, but like you get them together on rotation, they still put up really good numbers. So I think depending on your box, that could be an option for you. Beast Gohan definitely could be an option on the team, especially if you have a bunch, like on this first build here, like you could definitely, like you could sub out this Gohan for Beast Gohan, and then if you're floating a bunch of orb changing, that actually helps Beast Gohan as well. The problem is Beast Gohan won't share like a ton of links with the God Goku, and they both really need orbs. So I think that rotation could struggle a bit, just because they both are really going to want the orbs really bad. But I'll throw out Beast Gohan because he's a very good meta-relevant unit you could run on his team. I think AGL UI Goku is still a viable option. Obviously, you could throw out any of the UI Gokus as an option if you wanted to. And then obviously, Tech Carnival Goku is obviously really, really good as well, right? So this first build here, I'm focusing on having like 2 God Goku rotations. What you could do realistically, though, is you could say, do a God Goku with a year 7 God rotation, and then maybe you have Tech Carnival Goku and Gohan as a rotation. I feel like that's one of the best rotations in the game, but then you'd have to float one of the physical God Gokus, which you could do, right? But being that physical God Goku is a stacking unit, you kind of want to keep them on rotation, right? Here are some really good floating options you could run. I think this guy, the Spirit Bomb Goku, would be a really good floating orb changer. This is another unit that has a ZZ on JP, but we don't have on Global. So just look forward to him coming on Global this summer, and then this could be another option for you to float. I still like this Gohan as a floating support, especially with defense support. I have to throw this guy out because we have a ZZ on Global, and he's really good. The problem with running him on physical God Goku's team is that you've got then too many God Gokus. So this guy to me is a guy you want to run on rotation, but you can't realistically do that on the God Goku team. So I put him on this page because if you're desperate and you really want to use this guy and run him on the God Goku team, I think you got to run this guy as a floater. So I think this guy is a floating option. Like, he's going to hit hard and dodge in slot 3. You definitely can do that. It just means that you're going to have to use physical God Goku in slot 1 and then have a different slot 2 unit that can kind of link between the both of them, right? Which it could work, right? I've done team builds where you have like 3, even 4 of the same name unit. It can work. It'll be really clunky at first till you get your rotation set, but once you set your rotations, it can work. I don't know that I would advise you to use LR God Goku on this particular team build, just because having 3 of those God Gokus, potentially 4 if you want Tech God Goku, that's going to be a little bit too much probably, right? And then this trio of new Bardock EZAs, I think all of these are good floating options. So Int Bardock and Physical Bardock are just good like support options. And then I threw Tech Bardock down because he has another orb changing option you could run if you wanted to, right? So I definitely think there are some options there. Now these aren't all of the options, these are just ones that jumped out to me, but there are plenty. Like Pure and Hybrid Saiyans, you guys, is super loaded, right? Like you've got Physical Xeno Goku, you've got version Z Goku, you've got like the Physical EZA Super Saiyan Gohan. Like there's just so many floating support options you could run, but these are just ones that kind of jumped out to me like right now. Now let's look at some other team builds, right? So I've got 2 more team builds with different leaders where Physical God Goku gets a 200% buff, and I think we can do some really nice setups, right? So this would be Path to Power Kid Goku's team. What I would do on this team build here, there's a couple ways you could run it, but obviously we would have like the God rotation of Carnival Goku and Gohan. So you could do that, and then you could just do a Kid Goku and Aider. And in this instance, then you would have to float the Physical God Goku. Now, if you want to keep Physical God Goku on rotation, I honestly, if you're going to run Aider, you kind of need him on rotation with Path to Power Kid Goku. You don't want to, because if you're floating Aider and you don't have a Kid Goku on rotation, like he's going to be kind of a dead duck in slot 3. So if you run Aider, it's kind of contingent that you want to run him with Goku. So a couple options could be is you could float the Kid Goku, you could run something different in Aider slot, and then that would open up your team building more to where you could keep the Carnival Goku and the Gohan together, and then just run God Goku on rotation with somebody else. If you want to keep this build with Aider, then what you do is you do Kid Goku with an Aider, and then you'd run God Goku with either Carnival Goku or Gohan, right? And then you just float the other one. And then your other Kid Goku will be floating. And then Physical Bardock, I think, is just a solid floating support unit you can run, right? So that would be an example. Now, my next team build, I think, is my favorite overall team build for God Goku. I think it's the most meta-relevant team build. And I think it's going to be the most cohesive team build. So my favorite team build, I think, for this would be actually an AGL Gamma 2 led team. Now, Gamma 2, we've got movie heroes, right? So it's movie heroes, androids, and special pose. And then the 30% goes to accelerated battle or worthy rivals. Well, Physical Goku is on accelerated battle, so he gets the full 200 here. So what I like to do with this team build is this is where we can get Gogeta in, because Gogeta doesn't fit on the other 2 leader skills, and to me, this is my favorite rotation with Physical God Goku, is AGL Gogeta. So if you do Physical God Goku with AGL Gogeta, and then the other rotation, you can do the God Piccolo rotation, right? So you do STR Piccolo with Orange Piccolo, and then you just have 2 Gamma 2s as floating 2 key attack supports, and you have Path to Power Kid Goku as orb changing support. So this to me, if I were to say like my favorite team for God Goku, it would be this team right here, right? So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of these team builds. Let me know if you need extra help with team building. I do have a Discord that I post in the description of all my videos. So if you want advice or help with team building, feel free to hit me up in there. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.